Welcome to the X Factor, divorcing your mortgage co-owner. In this video, we will walk you through the two most critical areas when one co-owner buys out the other after an unmarried couple separates: taxes and mortgage liability. To set the tone, we will start with a clear agenda, then move into a concise disclaimer, and quickly dive into the practical steps, diagrams, and checklists you can use right away. First, we will outline when a buyout is treated as a taxable sale and how the primary residence exclusion can apply. Next, we will explain how to compute your cost basis so you know what is taxable and what is not. Then, we will address the biggest risk: remaining liable on a mortgage for a home you no longer own. After that, we will show why only a full refinance removes your liability. Moving forward, we will provide a step-by-step plan and a checklist of documents to demand before you sign the deed. Finally, we will test your understanding with quick quizzes and summarize your action items. Before we continue, please note this is general education, not individualized legal, tax, or financial advice. Because rules, thresholds, and personal facts vary by jurisdiction, and over time, you should consult your own CPA, real estate attorney, and mortgage professional before making decisions. With that in mind, let us explore why this topic matters right now. Now that you know the ground rules, let us clarify why this matters. When a relationship ends, emotions run high, and people often rush. However, a hasty deed transfer or a quick payout without a proper refinance can leave you financially responsible for someone else's house. To avoid long-term credit damage and unexpected tax bills, you need a clear plan. Next, let us address taxes. The payout you receive for your share is generally treated the same way as selling your portion of a primary residence. If you occupied the home for at least 2 out of the last 5 years prior to the sale, you can often exclude up to $250,000 of gain if you are single. The key is knowing your adjusted cost basis. This includes your share of the original purchase price, certain closing costs that are added to basis, and capital improvements such as a new roof, an addition, or a kitchen remodel that materially increase the property's value or useful life. Repairs, like fixing a leak or repainting, do not increase basis. Your gain is what you receive in the buyout minus this basis. Because the exclusion is large, most ordinary buyout proceeds are not taxable unless the property has appreciated dramatically. It is wise to compute your basis before finalizing a buyout number so you do not overestimate your tax exposure. To make basis practical, use this cheat sheet. Start with your share of the purchase price, then add basis-eligible closing costs such as recording fees, transfer taxes, and some title charges. Next, add capital improvements that increase value or extend useful life, such as a new roof or a major remodel. Do not include ordinary repairs or maintenance. If this were an actual arm's-length sale, certain selling costs could also reduce gain. But in a buyout, selling expenses may not apply. Maintain thorough documentation and consult a CPA to verify what qualifies in your jurisdiction. Moving on, here is the controversy that hurts the most people. Changing title does not change the mortgage contract. If your name remains on the original loan and your former partner misses payments, the lender can pursue you, send accounts to collections, and damage your credit. Adding a home equity line of credit to raise cash for your buyout does not fix the problem if your name remains on the first mortgage. The only reliable way to protect yourself is a complete refinance by the co-owner who is keeping the home. That new loan must be in their name only. Pay off the prior mortgage and fund your equity payout. Once the old loan is fully paid and closed, your liability ends. This process map visualizes the safe sequence. First, you and your ex agree on the property value and each person's equity share. Second, the staying co-owner applies for a full refinance in their name only. Third, underwriting reviews income, credit, and the property. Fourth, at closing, the new loan funds. Fifth, the title company pays off the old mortgage completely, obtains a payoff letter, and records the release. Sixth, the closing package provides documented proof that the old debt is extinguished. Seventh, only after confirming payoff and release do you sign and record the deed transferring your share. Finally, funds are disbursed to you. The alternate branch illustrates the dangerous path. Using a HELOC to pay you while keeping your name on the original mortgage. That approach leaves you exposed to future defaults and credit harm. To protect yourself, Start by obtaining an independent valuation, either through a comparative market analysis or an appraisal. Next, compute your adjusted cost basis to estimate potential gain and tax exposure. Then, insist on a full refinance in the staying co-owner's name only. Make the deed transfer explicitly contingent on proof that the original mortgage has been paid off and your name is removed. Hire your own real estate attorney to review the terms and closing package. Before signing, verify the payoff letter, the recorded release of the old mortgage, and the updated title. Only after those items are confirmed should you sign the deed and accept your funds. Here is the key comparison. With a full refinance, the new mortgage is entirely in the staying co-owner's name, the old debt is paid in full and closed, and you are formally released. This achieves a clean break. In contrast, using a HELOC to fund a payout while the original mortgage remains leaves your name on the first loan. You remain liable for any missed payments and your credit can be damaged. The refinance is the correct tool for extinguishing your liability. Quick knowledge check. If you lived in the home for 2 of the last 5 years, how much gain can typically be excluded when you sell your share as a single filer? Is it $0, $50,000, $250,000, or all gain regardless of amount? You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is $250,000. If you satisfy the 2 out of 5 year ownership and use tests and other criteria, you can exclude up to that amount of gain as a single filer. Next quiz. Is a title change alone sufficient to remove your mortgage liability after a breakup buyout? Choose from these options. Yes, title controls everything. No, only a full refinance that pays off the old mortgage removes you. Yes, if a HELOC pays your equity. Or yes, if you sign a private agreement with your ex. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is no. A title change alone is not sufficient. Only a full refinance in the staying co-owner's name that pays off and closes the original mortgage will remove your liability. Before you sign the deed, require specific documents. Obtain the refinance approval and review the closing disclosure. Confirm a written payoff letter from the current lender stating the old mortgage will be satisfied in full. At closing, verify proof of funding through the settlement statement and wire confirmation. After closing, confirm the recorded release or satisfaction of mortgage and review an updated title report. Finally, have your independent attorney provide a brief confirmation that the release is clean and complete. To ensure the correct sequence, you can include protective language in your agreement. Here is a sample clause for your attorney to adapt. It states that your obligation to sign and deliver the deed is contingent on the buyer obtaining a new mortgage solely in their name, the existing mortgage being paid in full from closing proceeds, and you receiving documentary proof such as a payoff letter and recorded release. It also prohibits adding new listings, such as a home equity line, unless those funds simultaneously extinguish the original mortgage. This contractual structure enforces the safe order of operations. Here are the top red flags. Do not sign the deed before you confirm the payoff and release. Do not accept a payout from a HELOC if your name remains on the original mortgage. Do not skip an independent attorney review. Do not negotiate blindly without computing your adjusted cost basis. Finally, do not rely on private side agreements in place of recorded, enforceable documents. To summarize, a buyout is typically treated as the sale of your share, and if you meet the 2 out of 5 year use and ownership tests, you may exclude a significant amount of gain. Calculate your adjusted cost basis early. Never assume a title change changes the loan contract. Require a full refinance in the staying co-owner's name, and verify payoff and release before signing the deed. Finally, engage your own real estate attorney to review the transaction and documents. Finally, thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. In the comments, tell us your questions or your experience with a co-owner buyout so others can learn from it as well.